Patch 10.2 is live, and we here at Tempo Storm are excited to jump right into the first day of a new meta. Old archetypes have returned to the ladder following the sudden absence of Highlander Priest. Aggro decks that once relied on Corridor Creeper and Patches the Pirate to dominate the early game were nowhere to be seen, struggling to adapt to the new ladder experience. Even Keleseth was mostly forgotten yesterday, with players relying on more streamlined aggro strategies to race Control Warlock survival tools. After 12 hours of playtesting and stream watching, let's jump right in and go over some of yesterday's highlights. The first 12 hours demonstrated the community's eagerness to explore decks that weren't viable before the patch. This was evidenced from Naviut's N'Zoth Deadman's Warrior in Top 40 Legend to Asmodai experimenting with Spell Hunter at rank 3. Bragi achieved a 60% win rate with the archetype, ending the day in top 20. World champion finalist Frozen and deck builder Dog took to Recruit Warrior, while the Jordude matched against Doc Pone's Control Warlock with Miracle Rogue, using the deck's cycling power, bounce effects, and damage to defeat his opponent. Even older decks like Pirate Warrior found success in the ladder late into the night by Raphael, reaching as high as Legend 19. Ardu had an explosive start to his climb in the new meta, streaking to Legend from rank 1 on the back of Demon Zulok. The list relied more on demon synergies like Demon Fire, Vulgar Homunculus, and Blood Fury Potion than the previous Keleseth and Pirates variant to great success. His climb may have also produced the play of the day. Ardu used Spellbreaker on his own Doomguard for a wider board while preparing for his Blood Reaver Gul'dan turn. The play denied his Q-Block opponent from having Faceless Manipulator and Hellfire lethal, the silence having removed Doomguard's charge text on the card, leaving room for Ardu to seal the game the following turn. Despite the wealth of innovative archetypes this patch inspired, 4 stood out as the obvious Tier 1 candidates in our upcoming meta snapshot. Control Warlock comes in as no surprise, and will likely be ranked as the new deck to beat. While incredibly favored against board-flooding aggro decks like Aggro Druid, the archetype also carries powerful control late-game options like Rin the First Disciple and N'Zoth. The deck is powerful enough that the following 3 are on this list for being among the few ladder-viable decks to find a favorable matchup against the daunting survivability and flexibility of Control Warlock. Secret Mage rose as the most popular counter to Control Warlock yesterday. As a tempo deck that doesn't rely on minions to finish their opponent, using primarily Fireball and Frostbolt, it became an ideal choice for players such as Fishy to hold top 25 Legend throughout the day. Corridor Creepers were replaced by a range of experimental tech, such as Potion of Polymorph to deny the expected turn 5 Possessed Lackey, or Bittertide Hydra by Apex Void for greater damage output. Finding Aluneth on turn 6 may become the Raza on 5 of this new meta. Combo Dragon Priest continues to find success on the ladder by being among the most used decks from day one. It was gaining popularity as a versatile, skill-intensive deck that found favorable matchups in both Highlander Priest and Q-Block. Though it struggles against Control Warlock's wider range of survivability and taunts more than Secret Mage, its anti-aggro tools like Duskbreaker and Potion of Madness, and resilient dragons like Draconid Operative and Twilight Drake give aggressive board-based opponents a hard time. You can learn more about this deck strategy in tomorrow's deck introduction. Murloc Paladin saw strong results yesterday, with players like Ender reaching number 5 Legend early this morning. In the absence of Highlander Priest and Tempo Rogue, the Murloc archetype found a lot of play, finding favorable matchups against both Secret Mage and Combo Dragon Priest. The refueling powers of Divine Favor and Call to Arms makes Murloc Paladin ideal for targeting decks looking to counter Control Warlock, and can make fast climbs if it can also avoid Control Warlock. The success of these 4 decks did not prevent other deck lists from finding success in the first day of the new meta, such as Greed holding down number 32 Legend with his Big Spell Mage, or Raphael's Pirate Warrior in number 19 Legend mentioned in the day's highlights. Strong as these Tier 1 candidates are, ladder results this week may have a greater effect on the meta than the community may anticipate in these first days. Our Wild expert Danny Donuts notes that aggro has grown significantly weaker on the Wild side of the ladder, with Bone Mare going from seeing little play to no play at all. Patches continues to see play in Pirate Warrior lists thanks to Ship's Cannon, but Aggro Druid with Living Mana and Aggro Shaman with Flame Wreath Faceless have moved on from the Pirate package to more streamlined strategies. Corridor Creeper is seeing some experimentation in Shaman and Paladin, but with no noteworthy success so far. Top Legend players are still playing Reno Priest, as it still beats Control Warlock archetypes. The new list runs Emperor Thaurissan in addition to Spawn of Shadows and Prophet Velen in the same deck, with one trick from the Emperor enabling a potent burst of damage. Though not nearly as powerful as pre-nerf Raza, the popularity of Warlock makes the Highlander Priest archetype viable on the Wild ladder as a Tier 2 deck at best for now. The latest aggro deck to emerge from the post-patch meta is Burn Mage, with the Wild exclusive additions of Flame Waker, Mad Scientist, and more, giving the archetype more burn and greater consistency than its standard Secret Mage counterpart. 4 decks from day 1 of patch 10.2 are currently Giant's Lock, Big Priest, Burn Mage, and Inner Fire Priest. We'll have more details on the evolving state of Wild in our upcoming Wild Meta Snapshot. Overall, patch 10.2 succeeded in shaking up the ladder from the Highlander Priest meta of the past 2 expansions. Daunting as the ladder may seem for aggro players, the absence of Highlander Priest has paved the way for deck builders to experiment with tech options in ways the ladder has not seen in months. Q-Block players can now try Eater of Secrets in response to the unfavored Secret Mage matchup, or the Secret Mage can in turn carry a single Hungry Crab to have a chance against Murloc Paladin. Decks that may otherwise not have room for Skulking Geist in the Highlander Priest meta can now neutralize Combo Dragon Priest if it becomes too popular, while removing Dark Pact from Q-Block combo as well. Double Spellbreaker may also become the new standard for decks that may otherwise struggle against turn 5 possessed lackeys. It's an exciting time to innovate, with control decks becoming less reliant on drawing well to find strong ladder results, and aggro decks facing a new challenge that has the option to develop teched counters. A lot can happen to any of these decks over the next couple of days, but for now, the patch has lived up to expectations. New life has been breathed into the Hearthstone ladder experience in both Standard and Wild. We look forward to bringing you the latest legendary deck lists and meta snapshots, and even more content in these last months of the Kobold and Catacomb meta and the Year of the Mammoth. Thank you for watching our review into the first day of patch 10.2. Let us know what decks you came across and what introductions you would like to see next. Be sure to subscribe to our channel for the latest developments, Hearthstone content, and our upcoming Meta Snapshot, due for release on February 14th. Thank you.